Well, do tell us what's popping today, Sarah.
Well, yesterday was Moze Radio's birthday, and Lillian Mbabazi took to her social media to... Why I bring this up is because, please, bear with me. There's a story to this. Well, she came up and she wrote a very touching message on her social media, and she said, I quote, "I will always choose to celebrate the day Moses was born. Because he was born, I had my children." They have two children together. And she also goes on to say, because he was born, I met him. Because he was born, music in Uganda was changed. Because he was born, many musicians have been inspired. And happy birthday, my love. We miss you, R.I.P. A number of artists also went on to, pay tribute to Moze Radio. And the thing is, I didn't know, but his birthday is kind of like an unspoken public holiday here in Uganda.
Sure.
Like the whole week, he's been trending on social media. A lot of his music has been, playing on TV and everywhere. And people just keep on, bringing him up. So that just goes to show that he was a force to reckon with. And I appreciate that.
And you know something?
Yeah.
Something interesting I've picked out of this. And you might disagree with me, but I feel like if you are a man of substance and a man of many accomplishments, the women in your life will tolerate a lot of things about you that most others will not. So, for example, because her message obviously has very strong romantic overtones,
Okay.
right? And they were together, they had children together.
Yeah.
But it is also true that he had several other women
Yes.
at the time,
Yes.
including I think a European woman, a
Yes.
Dutch lady,
Yes.
with whom he also has like 2 or 3 kids. And here's what's so funny, right? So you can be a guy that's super faithful, super loyal, super loving to a girl, and when you break up, she's just gonna be clowning you. Meanwhile, you can be a guy with many, many, many women, be a guy who's the life of the party, and not be the conventionally reliable partner or ideal partner. And yet when you die, the praises she will sing about you. I'm quite impressed.
I don't think that one thing has something to do with the next.
Of course.
Because why she's talking about him is because he's the father of her children, and also they did a lot of music together. They had a lot of music collaborations, and she has said many times he was an inspiration. At the time of his death, when he passed away, I think in 2018, they were not together. But he's the father of her child. I mean, if your co-parent is going to pass away, the nicest thing you can do is going to be like, rest in peace at least. You have to keep face for your children.
All right, okay, how about this? Why save all those sweet words for after you've died? Why not say all these nice things when you're still around? Because I never heard her say any of this while he was still around.
Because he took them for granted and it caused her a lot of hurt when he was alive.
I see, that's my point, you see, because she obviously wasn't having the best of times while in a relationship with this guy. And yet, after he's died, it's like he's Saint Radio, right? Saint Moze Radio.
No, I think it's about... take the good and leave the bad experience, and you'd want to have to, because it's not just about her, it's about her children. So she can't be, speaking smack about the father, her kid's father. You get what I mean? And also on top of that, he was a legend.
But you see, but my point is...
we are going to cherish the good things and leave the bad things. Let bygones be gone.
But have you noticed that most ladies have rather negative things to say about their baby daddies? Most ladies are clowning their baby daddies on social media.
But you won't clown a clown if the clown is not a clown. Do you get what I mean?
What does that mean?
If it's not a clown, then you're not going to clown this person.
Right,
but
so you agree with me, because that was my point. My point was, if you're a man of substance and a man of great accomplishments, you will be celebrated. And all of because she is willing, it clearly looks like she's overlooking his flaws.
It's not about
because
her.
He was an amazing man. And I remember interviewing her at my old radio station. When he was still alive. I had Lillian on, and we were talking about it, and she was talking about the kids and the relationship. And when it came to this guy, she essentially didn't want to say much, because obviously, I guess she wasn't in the best of places with him.
Yeah.
So my question is, now that he's gone, it's like, oh, he's such an angel. You're the love of my life.
She's saying this for the sake of her children, because she doesn't want to have to bring the kids into that mess. I mean, the kids wouldn't be happy with her if she was saying a lot of awful things about their dad. And everybody chooses to remember him the way for the good. And that is, that's why everybody says nice things about you in the
Okay, so
obituary.
tomorrow I want you to go. In fact, after this show, go
Mm-hmm.
to Twitter and say something nice about your baby daddy. Or let him read those sweet words while he's still alive.
But I've said nice things to him. I've said to him,
When?
and I've also called him out on his BS.
There you go.
You have to keep
You've
the
started.
balance. No, just because you're good does not mean you have any bad traits. Just like me. If I'm being awful, call me out on my BS. If I'm being good, call me out on my, on my good traits. And this is something that I always do on my birthday, or say when I've achieved or accomplished something and there's celebration. I keep on telling people, do not go and post on social media how much you think I'm awesome. Say it to my face. You get say it to my face, just as you would call me out for my nonsense. Okay?
I should start doing more of the latter. I feel like I don't do it enough.
Do it. Call me out for my nonsense. Fatboy, I'm sunshine. What would you do without me?
True. So
But moving on, still
what else
on
is
this
popping?
story, I want to talk about actually Weasel now.
Weasel,
Yes, the second
the
part of
musical partner
Yes.
of the late Moze Radio.
Well, he's planning on getting married to his lover, Sandra Teta. And remember, there was that whole situation where he was accused of,
Beating her
very badly, being an irresponsible father, blah, 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 and all those things. Yeah. Teta came out to deny these claims, even when a lot of people were trying to rally and cancel Weasel, get him into rehab, because
and she was like, and I remember she put out a video saying, you guys please stay out of it.
Yeah.
Do you remember? And everyone was trying to, and this is the thing, it's like whenever we hear of a dispute between couples, everyone wants to rush to the woman's rescue, but a lot of times you just gotta give them space to figure it out. And I think I remember you saying, but no, this is how women end up getting killed, is because we say nothing. I remember you saying
women
that.
need to speak up.
Exactly.
And
yet,
I still stand by that.
Yeah, but as you can see, now they sorted out their issues, resolved their problems. They're getting married.
You see, the thing is, a lot of men are going to, not even just men, even women. Okay, a lot of people are going to put their partner through a lot of nonsense, and then they come up with a marriage proposal to kind of as if reward you for all the suffering you have gone through.
So you're saying...
It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that in many instances, people think that marriage is a reward because you have struggled with them. You were there when they had nothing. You had to deal with their abuse and alcoholism and drug misuse and all that. So I'm not saying that this is the case right here, but whenever you see people having a baby or getting married after something really big,
tumultuous,
so, like that has happened, where say infidelity has happened, or domestic violence, abuse, or something like that, they're trying to mend the situation by giving that person that, like, you know what, I know I beat you up to a pulp the other month, right? But I'm going to marry you, right? So here's my gift.
Bygones be bygones.
Let's bygones
We're
be
good now.
Exactly.
You know what? I actually agree with you. I do think that a lot of marriage proposals happen when things are at the worst in their relationship.
Sure.
Usually after threats of breakup, or if a man realizes, wait, I'm about to lose her. You know, it looks like I'm on her last nerve. She's about to call it quits.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to surprise her tomorrow, bamboozle her with a ring. And usually she will say yes. Unfortunately, usually she will say yes and will be overwhelmed by emotions. And yet when they become married, the same problems arise.
Exactly.
Or sometimes a lady will say, well, let me get a baby, let me get pregnant.
Yeah.
Only to sort of save the relationship. So I think you're right. So Sandra Teta should not relax, is what you're saying? She shouldn't simply assume that all will be well now?
Exactly. Because we know you always see the red flags before the ring, or before the baby, or before a permanent relationship situation. You see them, you know it, but then you always project. Remember you told me about the halo effect, where you like somebody and so you're going to project these good qualities on them and you want to see them that way. And yet that's not how they are. Sometimes, what did they say? Which is that animal that doesn't change its stripes or colors? A cheetah? The leopard? Leopard.
Right.
Does not change its spots. It does not. So I hope that they are really working through this and going through counseling and going through rehabilitation, church exorcisms, etc., to ensure that that kind of situation never happens ever again.
Well, I think Weasel needs to be working on his music career mostly than getting married. Because, if he doesn't get things right in that area, the marriage may get problems.
Exactly. He's going to still be frustrated because money brings so many problems.
And I feel like he's not yet found his stride, music-wise. What do you think?
No, I think he has found it. I think he's just lost because Moze passed away. You understand? Because the two of them did everything together musically, that is.
But here's the funny thing, though. Wouldn't you agree that if it had been Weasel that passed, radio would have more easily moved on with his career?
I think so. I actually think so.
Because I think when it came to that duo of Radio and Weasel, really Radio was the star.
Yes, he was the writer. He wrote their songs, or maybe all of them.
Because Weasel's just, with all due respect, just some sort of ragamuffin, of which there are so many. Like guys who do like raga dancehall stuff.
Yeah.
And so I think absent the beautiful voice of Radio, it was very hard for him to then find a way to still make good music.
But you know what? Again, them together are perfect because, again, Weasel, put the sprinkles on top of that sundae, that ice cream sundae.
Can
you ever imagine any of their songs without Weasel Manizo? Could you ever imagine? Imagine any of their songs and remove Weasel.
I think that wouldn't work. But what about... King Saha sounds a lot like Radio.
Thank you.
To me.
Even the guys from B2C sound a lot like Radio.
So maybe he should collaborate with those guys.
Maybe.
So that he can resurrect that sound.
Maybe.
That he had with Radio and, find musical relevance.
But again, you see, you cannot duplicate Radio. Just like you can duplicate Michael Jackson or Whitney Houston. And yes, I put him in the same category as these people because I think he was that great of an influence musically.
He was, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Well, yeah, rest in peace, Radio, and best of luck to Sandra Teta and Weasel. They're going to need it.
Yes, and one more thing. Weasel cut off his dreads because he said in a TV interview that he cut off his dreads because Sandra Teta is going to be introducing him to her parents, and he's, wanting to be serious.
Oh,
by
really?
Cutting off his dreads. Yes.
Wow, this is like Samson and Delilah. Now he's going to lose all his power.
Wow.
Because you know what Samson's secret to his strength was?
Is it?
Yep. Wow.
Or maybe he's going to rise up like a phoenix,
I guess we'll see.
We'll see.